Make sure that the Facebook is, or that. All right, cool. All right, we're live right now, and thanks for everyone for joining in. Today we're going to be talking about the super bomb new reveals that DJI just dropped. We've got the Phantom 4 Pro, which looks so awesome. We've also got the DJI Inspire 2, which we'll be bringing up, and that's going to be really cool. We're also going to go really quickly over the Dope Shot Club Fall Challenge, the Fall Video Challenge, which was really cool. We got some awesome entries to that, and that's going to be starting here real soon. I'm going to take a couple minutes to make sure everyone knows on social media that everything's coming, and we'll jump right into it. So for now, enjoy the tunes, and we'll get going here in a second. For everyone just showing up, let us know in the chat box if you're in here. Say, hey, what's up, what's up? We got 2 people watching right now. Still think getting things going. Should start here in another 5 or so minutes. I got to post on Facebook and on Instagram that we're rolling. And we'll get going here. All right, gotta make sure I post on Instagrams. All right, looks like I'm good on the Instagrams. We got 7 people in here now. Woo! TGB says, you're my favorite YouTuber. What's up, TGB? A single piece of paper. Whoa, Christian. We're missing Gabe. Yeah, Gabe's been, hope you've been watching all his vlogs lately. Today, Apple Store started selling the Mavic. That's epic. Yeah, the Mavic looks like a freaking awesome piece of equipment. I'm really pumped on that. Thinking of ditching my P3 Professional to get the Mavic eventually. I'm not sure. I want to wait it out for the Apple or the Mavic 2. So where are you guys all from? Make sure you shout out where you're from in the box. It's going to be fun. All right. make sure I post on my Facebook page that we're going live. Alrighty. So we'll give it another 3 minutes until we get to about 5 o'clock, and we'll get rolling here. It's gonna be super fun. I'm really pumped. So let's see. We got Caraco, we got Toronto. Xander Levine says hey. David Budnick says hey. JP, shout out to Hawaii. Woo! What island are you on, JP? Just want to know. This is gonna be fun. Get some peeps on for the live stream. Hope you guys got some popcorn, some chips. It's gonna be a good time. Winnipeg, Canada, what up? Super pumped. All right, so who here is in the Dope Shot Club? Just curious. Who's joining us from the DSC? Oh. Dope Shot Club, what up? Woo! Wahoo, yes. I feel like you should connect with Blake. We have a buddy named Blake Abes at Abes. He lives in Oahu, and maybe you guys should connect and shoot together. There's some really cool shooters out in that area, man. Hawaii definitely breeds some incredible imagery. No joke. So cool. Definitely need to get back out there. That place is awesome. David Budnick, best Facebook group ever. Yes, appreciate that. Trying to keep the Dope Shot Club train rolling. Yes. Woo woo. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. So fun. Capture Productions, what's up? What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man? So has anybody shot anything recently that's been super fun? We'll just chat a little bit about shooting, and if you guys have any questions, gotta go one right here. We'll get started here in a couple minutes. Make sure everyone trickles on in. Just posted up the links in the Facebook page and the Dope Shot Club on our Instagram. We're live streaming on everything, so it's gonna be super fun. Today we're gonna be talking about first, definitely the most important thing, and I'm sure you all are curious about it, is gonna be DJI's new event, right? So they just dropped the Phantom 4 Pro, and that thing looks freaking sick. It's like, the Phantom 4 was already so rad, and it had so many amazing capabilities, and it's like they just took it to the next level. Like, no surprise, DJI is awesome like that. So we'll kind of go over what they're going on. What they got going on with that, and then from there we're going to take it to the Inspire 2, and not the Inspire 1 version 2, but the whole new setup right now. So that thing looks really sick. There's a lot of cool new features on that are like, they really are targeting like that high-end cinematic drone operator space so well, and it's so cool to see. They're like serving the market so they're just killing it. I would not be surprised if one day Apple just scooped up DJI and brought them under the wing, because they're just killing the game. It's really cool. Super cool. Xander says, give me some tips on how to start a YouTube channel. Well, you've already got one going, so that's definitely, you already got a channel going. What specifically about your channel do you want? Do you want to like grow your subscriber list? Do you want to get more views? What are you here for, Xander? Let us know in the comment box, and we can go a little bit deeper into that. JP said, I saw that short video you guys did a couple years ago. It was awesome. Thanks, JP. I'm not sure what video you're talking about, but definitely appreciate you joining us and staying along for the journey. It's been a ton of fun. We've shot so many videos over the years. It's crazy. Capture says, thanks for the love on our 2016 demo reel. You got it. David Budnick says, Phantom 4 Pro, 4K 60 FPS. Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't even understand. Like, that's going to be so cool. There's so many great things about the Phantom 4 Pro that are like going to blow stuff out of the water. It's just like, the Phantom 4 is so sick already, but they're making it doper. So he wants to know how to get more subs and views and make better content. So I feel like gaining more subs and views, right? That's like an after effects, pardon the pun, of having better content, right? So the better you can deliver, like understand who your audience is, and like really take the time, right, to create, they call it an avatar. Take the time to create the ideal audience member. Is it a guy that loves making videos? Maybe if you're a makeup artist, it's like a bunch of different girls that are like just learning how to do makeup. You know, you have to think about who your prime audience member is and kind of really understand them, right? Because if you can understand who they are and where they're coming from and what they want to see, you're definitely going to have that upper hand. You're going to have the leverage in creating content that's going to really attract them and pull them in more. Because the more you can put out really relevant content to their lifestyle, to the things that they like, and who they are, the more likely they're going to be to come back to your channel, subscribe, and watch your videos, right? So I also want to say that definitely adding humor, adding music, and adding just like cool cinematography is a great way to grow your channel. Those things will never, ever hurt your chances at making things, you know, way easier to grow your numbers. I would say look at a YouTuber named Regal Joe. He was a Vine guy who had a huge following and was able to kind of port that over now that Vine is dead. He took all his Vine content and put it over to YouTube in such a way, he took his characters and he expanded on them and created YouTube videos about them. And he's like totally killing it. Highly recommend Regal Joe. Really super, super duper funny. Really funny. David Budnick says, beats the GoPro to the curb. Rest in peace to Karma. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. You guys just like, the fact that GoPro was so late to the game, I feel, on the drone market, and then out of nowhere, the Karmas are just falling out of the sky. Woo! Dang, that's crazy. It's such a shame, you know, that I really wanted them to see the Karma, like, take off, no pun intended, and do really well, right? Because it's so cool to have another competitor in that space that will kind of push DJI to do bigger and better things, right? But now the fact that there's so much, like, who wants to buy a drone that might just fall in the sky, you know? Like, so, anyways, let me know in the comment box if you guys are ready to go. We got 10 people watching right now, so awesome start. I'm sure those numbers are going to grow as the live stream progresses. We're going to be on for another, like, half hour, 45 minutes. Again, the schedule is going to be that really quickly we're going to go over the October video contest. It was all about fall weather. And we had a few entries, and it was really good. And then we're going to talk about the new one coming up, and it's going to be fun. Then from there, we're going to talk about DJI's newest event. It was this morning. They released some awesome, awesome stuff. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the brand new Phantom 4 Pro. And then we're also going to be talking about the Inspire 2. So it's going to be a really fun live stream. Super pumped that we've got everybody here. We've got everyone from all around the world. I remember people were talking about, we got people from Toronto, from Hawaii. So really rad. So if you guys are from, let us know where you're from right now as we get started. From Vegas, JS Creative, so rad. Xander says, do you like Casey Neistat? And I would say, yeah, that guy is really cool. I've never met him, so I can't say I really like him as a friend, but I would say the content that he produces and just the personality, the authenticity that he's able to give off when he's in front of the camera is just so rad. Dude, Jacob from Capture. Hailing from BC, I apologize. I was up in Vancouver for like a few hours last week. We were helping a friend get a really cool old school car. I wish I could have seen you guys, but it was like we were up there and then we were gone so fast. I have no idea how to pronounce Curacao. I don't even know. Do I roll the R? Curacao. Curacao? Maybe? Like cacao? I don't know. You tell me. Sorry, Christian. I'm trying. Yes, Anders from Portland. Yeah, we got people from all over. It's super cool. Who we got in here from the Dope Shot Club? Yeah, Christian says, nope, you pronounced it wrong. I'll keep trying, and I'll get that one day. That'll be awesome. We got peeps in the Dope Shot Club for sure. So for everyone that was in the Dope Shot Club, I want to really quickly take it over to the contest that we had. So I'm going to load it up really quickly. So we had a autumn, fall sort of contest where we're giving away some really cool stuff. And let me switch over. And check it out. We're going to give away this. We gave away this backpack, the filter set, Google VR, some cleaning kits, little lens wipe, really cool stuff. So basically what the challenge was to create a 60-second to 3-minute video that captured vision of the season, right? So this could be like leaves changing, emotion of a cozy night with friends, anything, right? So people submitted some great stuff. We had submittals from Chase, from Lucas, aka Kermie, and then from our buddy Matthew Cho. And after Gabe and I took the time to go through all of the entries, we decided that Matthew Cho is the winner. So I don't know if you're watching right now, Matthew. We're going to drop in a... let me switch on back. Matthew, if you're watching this, congrats. You're the winner for that one. Thanks again for everyone for entered it. We're going to have a new contest coming up soon. And I'm really psyched that we had such great people in here and like taking part in it. It was really cool, really awesome to see his, and along with everyone else's. So actually, let me show you guys really quickly a little bit of Matthew's video. Of course, you can always go over to the Dope Shot Club and check it out. But I do want to shout out Matthew for his dope fall video. And please, everyone, because he's a winner, I definitely want to be like, yo, check out Matthew Cho. Subscribe right here. Go to his channels. He's got 218 subscribers right now, and we can definitely help boost those numbers up. Take a look at his autumn video. I'll play a little bit of it right now because it was really well done. I was really pumped. It sounds like he just picked up a new slider and he wanted to get some shots with it, so it was perfect timing. Word. So you guys get the vibe of it. It was an absolutely awesome video. What the heck? I don't know why my camera is really tiny now. What the heck? I don't know. Sorry guys, techie diffy. 1 second. Let me get this going again. One moment. Apologies. I'm going to go back to Matthew's video. Oops. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to Matthew's video so you guys can check that out. Awesome. So seriously, he did a great job. I don't know if you're watching this, Matthew, but we'll definitely get in contact with you. Awesome. The very first Dope Shot Club winner. The next one is going to be about reflections. It's going to be a video. I'm going to be definitely posting up a full stickied note in the, or stickied post in the Dope Shot Club. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that because we're going to give away some more great stuff. Woo! Awesome times. Thanks again for everyone that entered. It's going to be really fun. So now let's jump into all the good stuff that you guys came here to see, right? The kind of breakdown of the Phantom 4 Pro and the Inspire 2. So let me know in the dashboard or in the comment box. Do you guys want to talk about the Inspire 2 first, or do you want to talk about the Phantom 4 Pro first? There's a couple different options here, and I'm curious as to what is more, what's a bigger interest to you guys here? What up, SPD? Let me turn some tunes back on. What's it going to be? The P4 or the Phantom? P4 or the Phantom? So far, definitely the Phantom is a lot more interesting to y'all. What's it going to be? Christian says, I can't afford the Inspire 2. Yeah, it's definitely more of a professional device. You could probably get the Mavic, though. Guy, what's up, Guy? Shout out to everyone on here right now. This is awesome. We got some peeps in the house. Woo. P4. All right, cool. So it definitely looks like the P4 is the winner of this contest. Bop, 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 gang, gang. All right, dope. So the P4. I don't know if you guys had a lot of time to kind of study up on it, but it looks freaking awesome. It looks so cool, like tech-wise, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like much different. It looks a little bit different, but it doesn't look, that much crazier. The big thing about it, I feel like, is the first off, it's definitely more expensive. It's about $1,500, $1,499 versus the P4's about $1,200, so about $300 more. So that's something to take into account when we talk about all the different options that come with it, right? And so here's all, this thing looks really sick. So the Phantom 4 Pro, they released it this morning. And really quickly, the big things that are different about it are going to be the fact that it's got a longer flight time. It's 30 minutes now. It's got the 4K 60 FPS video. It's got a bigger sensor, which is way cool. So they're going from 2/3, I think like a 1/2 size sensor, or they have a weird number, 1/2.3, which doesn't make sense to put decimals in a fraction, but to a full 1-inch sensor. So the sensor size is getting much bigger, which is really awesome. They've also got, if you look on the sides here, they've got the obstacle avoidance, but now on the sides as well on the back. So that's really cool to have that involved, right? Is it really just way sicker? They've also got an option where you can have the screen just attached, right? So I personally prefer being able to just, tether in my phone or use an app or an iPad or whatever, but some people may prefer just having the dedicated screen, right? And so specs-wise, what we've got going on here is, let me switch it up, that the sensor size, of course, is going from 1/2.3 to a full inch, right? So having a bigger sensor is so important because not only does the megapixel size increase, right? The Phantom 4 is a 12 megapixel, I think, sensor, whereas the Phantom 4 Pro is now 20 megapixel sensor. So it's almost double the information, right? So that's huge. Also, along with having a bigger sensor, you're going to have more light that it's being captured. So scenes are going to have more detail because they'll be a little bit brighter. Scenes will be a little bit sharper. They also increase the dynamic range. So camera-wise, the Phantom 4 Pro is so saucy compared to the Phantom 4. And already the Phantom 4 was looking really good. So it's pretty incredible what they've been able to just smash down that little device. Because if you think about it, just a couple of years ago, we were throwing a GoPro 2 on there and trying to capture what you could. But now the technology is just so crazy that you can just capture some of the most amazing, amazing stuff, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like just upgrading that sensor size is such a huge, huge advantage over the Pro that it's almost worth the $300 because just the quality is going to be amazing. We have a buddy named Alder Anastasio that shoots some really incredible aerial imaging, and I know that he's going to be so psyched on that because having that much more megapixel, having that much more data to work with is going to make prints and photos just look so much better, right? So that's really, really, really cool. So are you guys pretty excited about that one? What's most exciting to you about the Phantom 4 Pro so far? And then we can dive into some of the other stuff going on. One of the big things that is coming out of it is that, and it's kind of a nerdy thing, but I feel like, we're all filmmakers here. It's going from the max bit rate on the Phantom 4 original is 60 megabits per second, whereas on the Phantom 4 Pro is now 100 megabits a second. So that's really huge. Having that detail in there is that's insane, right? So that's so incredible. It also means that eventually that technology, I'm sure, is going to trickle down to the Mavic or their other products too, which is really cool. So yeah, having that quality of a camera is really awesome. So yeah, it's really cool to see Guy and Christian just get psyched on that one in the comment box. What else we got going on? Spec-wise, so this is a big one, the 4K 60 FPS. I know people were shouting that earlier when we were talking about it, but having that slow-mo at 4K is going to be so nice. Give me a thumbs up or some, just tell me how stoked you are in the comment box, because that's huge. Having that slow-mo 4K is going to look so sick, or just having that super smooth 4K will be really cool too. So I'm really pumped on that. That feature right there is absolutely blows the Phantom 4 original out of the water. Like, dude, that's crazy. That's so crazy. It's something that we've been wanting for so long, right? Like 4K 60. And the fact, like, if you look at it on a larger perspective, think about this. Like, they can take that little tiny camera that's on the drone and get 4K 60 out of it, right? But like this camera that I've got right here, this Sony, the Sony a7R II cannot do 4K 60. You've got the 5D Mark IV that cannot do 4K 60. Like, that's pretty freaking amazing, right? Holy cow. You guys gotta like be just amazed by that, I hope, because DJI is like so stepping up the game. If you think about what's going on in the industry, and you try and just imagine without DJI and the way they've progressed it, it'd be like we'd still all be in the Stone Age. Like, what are y'all gonna be flying Uniques or something? Like, no. The Mavic and like the P4 Pro, the Inspire, these are all like so sick. So I don't know about you guys, but if you think that just strictly the camera upgrade is worth it, let me know in the comment box. It seems like you guys are really like impressed by it. And it's really cool to see what everyone else's interpretations are and, you know, how everyone else is kind of taking that, right? So it's like, you know, sometimes people are underwhelmed by new releases and sometimes people are like amazed by it. And it seems like this time people are like totally amazed by it. Guy says, I laughed hard at that unique comment. Yeah. I love how the brand Unique is like the most like not unique brand at all. Like, so good. The name is just so ironic. It's awesome. SPD says, what if DJI made DSLRs or mirrorless cameras? They would kill the game. That's wild. I bet you they're working on it behind the scenes. I know they acquired Hasselblad or merged with Hasselblad or however that worked out. So they're definitely taking Hasselblad's technology and currently just integrating it into the aerial stuff, but I would not be surprised if they get to a point where they're just totally down to create their own camera system because, I mean, they've already got it going on with the Osmo and everything like that, so it's really cool. But I can also see them not wanting to dive or move too far away from their main core, which I guess is more accessory-based rather than, you know, strictly camera-based, if that makes sense. That would be an interesting thing to see, but I'd like to see what happens, especially with the Hasselblad merger. Yeah, Hasselblad's got some incredible technology, so it'd be really cool to see what they could put together. All right, let's cruise on, learn about some more specs from the Phantom 4 Pro. It's awesome to hear everyone else's, you know, take on it and all that stuff. One of the big things that they talked about was mechanical shutter. So now the Phantom 4 Pro has a mechanical shutter versus like whatever they had before, right? And the shutter, if you guys aren't familiar with it, basically it's like if you swing the camera really quickly and you have, you know, vertical objects, maybe like a light pole. If it's not mechanical, it'll like bend it and it gives a really weird like motion blur, right? But if you have a mechanical shutter, like a global shutter on a Red or an RE or a higher end, I think Sony, maybe like some of the FS series have global shutters or mechanical shutters, the footage just looks higher quality and more cinematic in a way that's really difficult to describe, but it's one of those things that when you see it, you're going to be like, that just looks better, right? It looks more Hollywood in a way. It looks more cinematic. And I think having those little tweaks in this Phantom 4 Pro is going to make a huge difference for using it on higher end shoots, right? Because there's no longer a reason for a higher end producer or director or whatever to say you can't use that DJI Phantom. They used to be toys. They used to be like, oh, you want to use your Phantom? Like, get out of here, you know? You want to put your GoPro up in the air. But now it's like, you know, it has high quality dynamic range. It has a high bit rate. It's got a mechanical shutter. In all reasons, or in all reasons, it's a quality piece of cinematic technology now. So it's pretty incredible, right? I think a full-on ILC camera would be pretty sick. Yeah, guy. I mean, it's really crazy to see what they're going to come up with in the future. So yeah. So far we've gone over the bigger sensor. They're going from, you know, that small. Actually, I have a. Let's go back to the sensor size really quick because I've totally forgot to show you guys. This sensor right here, the 1/23. This right here is what the Phantom 4 original is, right? And so that would be equivalent to this size. And the new one is a full 1 inch. And so it goes to, what is it? This size right here. So you're effectively like doubling. You're going from this tiny little sensor size to this big sensor size. So you're capturing so much more data, so much more information. You're just making such a better camera out of this, right? So like that's really freaking awesome. It's starting to get to, you know, it's obviously it's not full frame, and it's still, you know, far away from APS-C that you would find in like a 60D or a 70D, but it's a huge step forward for aerial technology. So I felt like this little shot was a really great way to kind of visualize the differences in the sensor size. Does that make sense to everybody? If you guys want me to, I can go back to that little image. It's pretty cool though to like look at that. If you're curious about that, you can always look up camera sensor sizes and find it. Pretty easy way. But to me, that was like, just looking at that image was like, blew me away. I was like so surprised that, you know, just the physical size difference in that was crazy. So hope you guys can get a kick out of that one. That like blew my mind. As a camera nerd, that blew my mind. And so a couple other things that they included in the Phantom 4 that are like really blew it out of the water, and I'll go back to the pics here, was the inclusion of the sensors, not just on the front anymore, but they have it now on all sides, right? So let me go to it, pull up some pics. Yeah, so originally, you know, they just had the sensors in the front, right? Boom, really nice. But if you're returning to home or trying to go through a tight space, or you lost, you know, signal or whatever, and it tried to fly home and it just hit something, there's, you know, it's definitely possible for it to have an accident there. But now they have it on all the sides, which is just so nice, and really takes it up a level as far as like newbie compatible, if that makes sense. So back in the day, if you wanted to start off shooting, you'd have to get something that was like really small, maybe like a little guy from Amazon that you could crash a bunch of times to really get the feel of right before you stepped up to a Phantom 4 or an Inspire or whatever it is. But now it's like so newbie proof that you can like just turn it on, press the button, and it's going to take off. You can like, it has all these new intelligent modes of like circling around or staying profile or just tracking normally, and it's not going to hit anything because it has all these sensors around it. So it's like these things are just getting smarter and more powerful, better quality, and it's just like DJI is just crazy. They're just killing it. So I'm just like really amazed. Every time they release a new one, it's not just like a little, I mean, it is incremental, but it's like enough that it's like, wow, they're really changing the game. And in like whatever 6 months, when the prices drop down to $1,200 or whatever, it's going to be an incredible deal, guys. So that's pretty amazing. And then one of the final things that I wanted to talk about that they really changed up was the battery time. So I think the previous Phantom was 27 minutes or something like that, but now it's a full-on 30 minutes, which is pretty incredible. Let's go over here and check out the original Phantom. I wonder if it'll show it right here. I don't know. Let's see. Flight time. Does anyone know? If you guys know what the flight time is on the Phantom 4, let me know in the box, chat box. Anyways, I know that the new one is better, so that's pretty sick. That's all I'm going to say. So sick. Battery. Okay, so Aerial Sky has the specifics. He says batteries stepped up from 5,870 milliamps to from 5,350. So that's a pretty, that's not huge percentage-wise. That's like pretty small, but it's like 10%. That's pretty awesome. That's a good amount of time. So yeah, 27 minutes makes sense. Louis, they said they increased dynamic range. Does anyone know how many stops? I know the new one they said has 11.6 or 11.3 stops with dynamic range. I don't know what they measured it previously, but they did say it's an upgrade, so that's really cool. Yeah, I appreciate you guys dropping more stats in the comment box. I feel like we're all learning and like everything's so new, right? So everyone's like looking and trying to figure out like, okay, what are the real specs and how does it all like compare? But I feel like when you think of everything together, if we run down the list one more time, you've got the sensor size increase from the tiny sensor to the full 1-inch which means higher bit rate. It means bigger megapixel photos going from 12 to 20 megapixels. It means you're going to have brighter scenes, more details. You've got higher bit rate going from 60 megabits per second to the 100 megabits per second. You can now shoot 4K video at 60 frames a second, so you can get that super buttery 4K. You've got higher dynamic range. You've got better battery life. You've got a better shutter. You've got the mechanical shutter, so you can reduce that nasty motion blur stuff, the jello effect. You've got more sensors. You've got infrared on the sides. And you've got an increase, I think I just said it, an increase in the flight time. Like, that's pretty crazy. You're going for an extra $300, you get all that extra stuff, right? So that's, I don't know. Let me know in the chat box, guys, as we transition over to the Inspire part, the Inspire section. Do you guys feel like the price tag of the $1,500 Phantom 4 Pro is warranted versus the original, which is what, $1,200? Is $300 worth it to you guys to get all that extra stuff, the bigger sensor, the better bit rate, all that goodness? Let me know in the chat box. We can chat about it for a second. I want to hear your guys' feedback on that one, because I mean, some people are I'm sure going to say it's like so worth it, but I'm sure some people will be like, you know what? The Phantom 4 original is already such a sick piece of equipment that there's really no reason to upgrade. Are you guys planning on upgrading at all? Curious to hear what y'all have to say. Christian is like, nah, I'm going to wait until they lower the price, which I feel like, yeah, definitely if you're one of the first adopters in any piece of technology, it doesn't matter. You're gonna pay a premium. You know, if you want to buy the newest MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar, or you want to buy the cool new Surface Book from Microsoft, it's really like, you know, you're gonna pay a little bit of a premium for it, but you also will be the really cool guy on set that has the really sick drone. So don't underestimate the power of that, because people definitely are gonna be more likely to pick you up and, you know, bring you onto their shoots if you've got something that can really take things to the next level. But yeah, definitely curious to hear what everyone in the Dope Shot Club and everyone in the live stream right now is going to say about it. And then pretty soon we'll talk about the brand new Inspire, which is really cool. I'm really excited to see how the Inspire kind of translates, and it's really sick just to, I don't know, from a more business, entrepreneur, filmmaking perspective, it's really cool for me to see the niche that DJI is going towards with the Inspire, right? So we'll get into that here in a second. Super pumped to have so many people online. We've got 13 people watching right now. Thanks again to everyone for joining us. If you guys are having fun on the live stream, give me a smiley face in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Let me know you're having fun. Super pumped to have everybody here. It's always good to do a nice live stream and get everyone back on board and get everyone in the Dope Shot Club pumped up. If you guys aren't part of the Dope Shot Club, you can check us out if you go to facebook.com/groups/Digital Cinema University, or you just Google Dope Shot Club, or just search in the Facebook bar for Dope Shot Club. It's our awesome community. We're almost at 1,000 members now. We've got a lot of people in there that have got a lot of talent, and it's a great spot to hang out and just, you know, chat about cool stuff, cool camera stuff. Just nerd out, you know. If you're trying to nerd out, it's a great spot. Yeah, Ariel Sky says for sure, all those small details are 100% worth it. The sensor and dynamic range is enough for me to upgrade. So, Ariel Sky, do you already own the Phantom 4 Pro and you're like, yes, I'm going to upgrade? Or maybe you're rocking the P3 or something and you're going to upgrade like straight away to the Phantom 4 Pro? What are you thinking? Curious, guys. "14 peeps online, what up?" Jacob on the Dope Shot Club post says he appreciates the beats. Yeah, I'm going to crank the beats right now for a sec. This is from a chill instrumental hip-hop jazz mix on YouTube. Just got to have those. They're so good for working. Mark says, as a photographer, I'm really excited about the new sensor. We should all look into what sensor size can do for quality. Dude, actually, that's a great idea. I'll load up some Effects of sensor size. Wow. Man, if you Google sensor size, there's so much serious, like, wow. All right, so I'm on this, there's just so much information. Chill beats, bro. Chill beats. Alright guys, so we'll get started here in, so basically you guys can do a bunch of research, but basically what happens is that when you have a larger sensor, it's just better for your photography and everything on so many levels, because what's going on is that you can capture more light, you capture more detail, you also have better, shallower depth of field. I don't know the science exactly behind it, maybe someone in the comment box can talk about it, but just having a larger sensor is so important and is so powerful that, like, it can't be understated, you know, or it can't be overstated. Guy says, I like the new sensor. I'm a large fan of the 1-inch in the PS cameras and I'm liking that more and more. Point and shoot cameras. Aerial Skies says, can't forget about the 20 megapixel. I own the P4, 2 Inspires, and a Mavic. You got to keep up with the current tech to get the best results. 100%, yes. If you want to be like on the really, like, right on the edge of the curve, it's really important. Guy says, compared with increased dynamic range is enough for me to lust after it. I will consider this after tax returns. Ariel's down with that. Large sensor means larger pixels, which means better light absorption, more accurate colors. Bigger is better in photography. That's what she said. But yeah. Just having more accurate colors, better light absorption. The more light you can just slam onto that sensor, the better. Like, that's one of the things that blew me away. As, like, when I was getting started and learning about photography, I was like, lenses, like, even if you have a really quality lens, like, if you have a great lens but you're shooting in the dark and it's really, like, the lighting is really bad, the lens will perform badly, right? So you can have this super high-end, super sharp lens, but even if there's not enough light getting into it, it's going to act like a low-end, crappy, cheap lens, right? So having that sensor allows the lens to really shine and, like, really show off its true potential. So I know that there's a great video that someone posted in the Dope Shot Club about Red's new 8K sensor. It was by a guy named Mark Toya. And he talks about how this new 8K sensor that this Red has is able to take the unique qualities of all these different old school lenses, new lenses, the unique, you know, just the way that the lens is and the uniqueness about it comes through on these larger sensors better. So that's really cool. Google full beef sensor quality. I don't know if I want to do that. Sounds scary. Full beef. But yeah, I'll check out full beef. All right, cool. So guys, we talked about Dope Shot Club Fall Challenge. Congrats again to Matthew Cho for winning that one. We'll do a full post on that one as well as the next challenge, which is going to be reflections. It's going to be a photography challenge about reflections. So get your mind thinking about that one. We're going to give away some more cool stuff. We talked about the Phantom 4 Pro, which is so rad. It weighs in at $1,500. It's about $300 more, or $300 more expensive, but it's so worth it. What up, Daniel? He says he literally just bought the Phantom 4 18 days ago. No, dude, that's so terrible. I would return that so fast. I know that some places actually, they may be down just to swap it out. I had an issue where I bought the Phantom 3, and then this was at a local place called Glazer's Photography in Seattle. I bought the Phantom 3, and then same thing, like 2 weeks later, the Phantom 3 Professional came out, or the price dropped. Something happened, and I was able to get that price break even though it was recently. So, Daniel, now it looks like Christian. I feel like you guys should contact DJI or maybe contact the place that you bought it from and see if they have some sort of buyback program where they'll be able to help you out with that one, because you would probably be really psyched to be able to upgrade. So, but I'm sorry to hear about that. But anyway, so let's jump into the Inspire 2, and then we can wrap all this stuff up. We had 15 people on here. We got about 12 people going on right now, so it's pretty cool to have everyone in here. Super pumped. Thanks for everyone for joining. If you guys want to let us know where you're watching from in the chat box, please tell me. We've got some awesome people from all over the world. I know Guy is in, Puyallup now? We've got Daniel. I think Daniel's down in Oregon, but he was out in, Costa Rica last time I checked. So curious to hear where you guys are all watching from. Munlin says, what's the price difference? Yeah, so the price difference, are you talking about between the Phantom 4 Pro and the Phantom OG? Phantom 4 OG. What's up, T-Cube girl? Woo! Hope you're getting those personal records on your Rubik's Cube. So the Phantom 4 Pro is $1,500, and the Phantom 4 OG Dash Bros HQ, free copy for everybody. Woo! And the Phantom 4 OG is $1,200. So it's about a $1,300 price difference between the Inspire 2 and the Phantom 4 Pro. I think is around $500. Let me look it up. No, I'm sorry. It's $1,500 because the Inspire 2 starts at, and that's just with the X4 camera, starts at $29.99, so about $3,000, whereas the Phantom 4 Pro is $1,500. So you can basically buy 2 Phantom 4 Pros for the price of 1 Inspire. You got to ask yourself if it's worth it. And so let's quickly go through the big changes to the Inspire 2, because the original Inspire was like a freaking awesome camera. Gabe and I have one. It's a really great, it's a high quality, super nice piece of equipment. We may be thinking of selling it to upgrade, but we definitely got some seriously dope shots with it. Just the fact that you can have the the single camera operator flying it and the camera operator driving it, so that's pilot cam op. Having that setup just allows you to get such dynamic shots, because you have to think with the Phantoms and with the Mavics, the camera is always pointed forward. So getting like tracking shots or getting really dynamic shots where you fly a really interesting path while focusing on a subject is so difficult. It's possible, but it's just like some shots are just almost impossible to capture with it. Yeah, beat new records. Next to Aruba. Dope. We got Vegas, Poland, Oregon, Kansas City, Aruba. I can pronounce Aruba, right, Christian? Yeah. So it's really awesome to have all you guys here online. But yeah, the Inspire setup I feel like was, and it is, something that's more marketed towards more professional, right? So you have hobbyists that get it, of course. You have a lot of hobbyists that get the Phantom 4s, but having a full-on dual camera setup that they've got now, and like having a redundant flight systems, having the ability to upgrade to the Micro Four Thirds sensors that we'll dive into, it just shows that they're really going after a more higher-end market. So if you guys are ready to hear about the Inspire 2 setup and all the upgrades, let me get a heck yeah or a hell yeah in the comment box. Sorry for cussing. I don't know if anyone's listening at home, not safe for work. But let me know. It's going to be really fun. We got some cool stats for you guys. I'll load up a sweet picture of it. Boom, boom, boom. The Inspire 2 DJI. Inspire 2. All right. All right, guys. So this is the Inspire 2. This thing looks so badass. All right. I'm going to go buy now and get a good picture of it. Bop, bop, bop. All right, here it is. So this is it. Doesn't have the camera on it because there's a couple different camera options. But you can see that they upgrade. It went from the standard white in carbon fiber to now it's like more of a gunmetal sort of gray color. So it definitely looks way more epic. You can see right here they've got obstacle avoidance right here, which is really cool. The FPV camera. The remote looks a little bit more badass. I'm not sure specifically if there are any major changes to it. I know now you can buy, I think, a dedicated. Like, you don't have to attach your phone or your tablet. It just comes with one, just like the Phantom 4 Pro. We've got dual battery setups here in the back, which is pretty epic. Overall, it looks, it really isn't that huge of a change body-wise. There's a couple little upgrades, but it's a lot of the tech that they've packed into it, which really changes the game for it. So let's start going over that stuff. The first major change that I want to talk about is going to be the dedicated FPV camera, because if you look at it, and one of the big complaints, and it must have been so big that they needed to change it up, was the fact that both operators, both the pilot and the camera operator, were receiving the same feed, right? And so if you're flying straight forward and the camera's straight forward, that's going to be a pretty nice, it's going to be very easy. But as soon as the camera operator needs to focus on the subject over here, and you're far away, the pilot has no visual, right? They don't have that FPV visual, which can be super critical if you're in certain situations. So having that ability to now have a second FPV camera on there, or the first FPV camera, to give that first-person view, the dedicated first-person view to the pilot, is huge. That's like so huge. I know that Gabe and I could have used that a ton of times when we were flying out in the field. When situations, he would often have to tell me, hey, Will, can you reorient the camera to, first-person view so I can see where I'm at and have a better idea of, if he's going to, you get over a building or you get over a bridge or over a mountain or whatever, you want to be able to confidently fly it back without having to have the camera operator lose the shot. You still want to have that ability to see where you're at without having to compromise the footage that you're capturing. So having that dedicated FPV camera installed now is like so sick, and I know that it's going to create a lot more dynamic shots for a lot of people. What's also really cool about it, and that I heard, was that it's not just static, straightforward. It's actually stabilized, similar to the Mavic camera. I'm sure they took some of because the Mavic camera is really tiny. I know that I imagine they took some of the Mavic technology from that camera and implemented it. It also has the ability to kind of pitch up and down. So that's really cool too. That it's not just like you have that straightforward look that's going to be really bumpy, like more drone racing FPV style, or probably some third-party or DIY solutions. But now you've got it's the stabilization and the adjustment. So that's going to be really huge for any pilots. I bet all the hardcore Inspire pilots out there are like, yes, thank you so much, Inspire, or DJI. Like, they must be really pumped. So that's definitely a really, really cool piece to have. Next up, I want to talk about they boosted the top speed. So the Inspire already was like so fast, right? It could like kick butt when it was cruising through the air. We would like take that thing out and we would drive in the lake bed in Vegas on windy days. We'd make sure it was really windy, right? And so we'd launch it and we'd fly in a car with it. So we'd have really good signal the whole time. We wouldn't be super far away, and we would jam with the wind, and you could get that thing going so fast. And that's one of the most powerful things about aerial shots. If you look at shots from BBC's Planet Earth, or just any super epic aerial shot in the cinematic Hollywood movie, the element of speed cannot be, is just so important. You have to talk about how important it is that you can just jam through a crevasse, or just cruise through super fast sides of buildings, or really chase down. If you're having a high-speed chase, you can't film a high-speed chase if your drone can't go very fast, right? You want to have that ability to go as fast as cars on the freeway and capture all that. So the fact that they boosted the top speed to almost 70 miles an hour is huge. That's crazy. That you're going to be able to get some seriously dynamic shots. Having that perspective and having the speed just makes things way more intense, and the shots just become so much more dynamic. So that's really badass. I feel like that's it's not a huge technical, it's not like, oh my God, how did they do that? But it is really amazing that they were able to include that. I think that's a really important piece. What else they got going on? So they also added, this is going to be really, really nicely warranted, was that they added in avoidance technology. I had a feeling they would do this because they had the Inspire 1 was predated the Phantom 4. And once the Phantom 4 came out with the avoidance technology, it was like, okay, how are they going to retrofit this into all their other models? And so sure enough, it ended up in the Mavic, and then boom, now you see it in the Inspire 2. So that's really cool to have, because now you have to think, if you're an Inspire pilot, first you had you had no eyesight except for the camera, and then you didn't have any of the avoidance technology. But now you've got the FPV dedicated cam, and you've got the avoidance technology. So flying as a pilot on an Inspire just got so much more safe, which is like really cool that they added that in. You've also got it not just in the front. Believe you have it in the back, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they added it in, but it was tough for me to see if that was specifically added. You've also got overhead too. So they talk about a situation where if you're flying inside and you don't want to hit the ceiling, because that can be super disastrous, they've got infrared that will actually shoot up there, and it'll tell you, it'll stop you before you hit something overhead. So just flying as an FPV pilot or as an Inspire pilot just gets better and better. One thing which I'm sure is going to be huge on bigger shoots where you need to have that 100% uptime and you don't want to have any accidents happen while you're on the set, is that they now have dual batteries. So I'll switch it back over to the pictures of the Inspire, and you can see over here that the battery, the butt is just way bigger. They got a big booty on this thing now. Before, the Inspire had just a nice skinny little butt, but now they have dual battery packs in here. So Sir Mix-a-Lot's probably just going to be way more hyped on the Inspire 2, is all I'm going to say. But that's awesome because on a one level, you have that redundancy in case one battery pack just fails or whatever, but it also means double the flight time. I don't know if it's double, but it does add to the flight time. And definitely if you're going to be flying at high speeds and dumping those charges out really quickly, you got to make sure that you have enough battery juice in there to take care of that. So it's really cool that they were able to add that in there. So just flying the Inspire is just getting better and better and better and just getting more and more stable. Because it seemed like back in the day you would have drones and you weren't sure if it was going to fall down out of the sky or not. But now they have dual IMUs in there. They've got 2 battery packs. They've got the obstacle avoidance. It's becoming way more safe to have these on set, where before it was just like, we're going to bring in the drone guys and hopefully they can, handle their business. But now it's so much more safe to have these on a really high-profile set. And it's so important to do that because you don't want to be, on one side you don't want to have this massive explosion going on, this super awesome car chase scene going on, and the drone just falls out of the sky because it's, not very safe. But you also want to take into consideration the safety of everyone that's on set. Imagine if you're flying over, I saw a Parks and Recreation episode where they had the drone flying, pulling back away from the stage on an episode. And it's like, if that didn't have 2 batteries, if it didn't have 2 IMUs, if they didn't have all these other redundancy things, it could just fall on someone. And, as a professional set, that's going to be insurance. That's going to be, if hopefully they're okay, they don't get seriously injured. I mean, you have 4 spinning fan blades at high speed just drop down on someone. You don't want to have that happen. And think about it with all the stuff going on with the DJI Karma and that just falling out of the sky. Having this and being like, okay, are we going to go the Karma route or are we going to go the DJI? It just makes it an even better choice for professionals on higher end shoots. So the Inspire 2 is really, really looking up. It's really cool. What else we got going on for this one? Dual battery. Oh yeah, they also have. I saw they talked about having the ESC, so the electronic, the motor controllers. They were able to. They have 2 ways to control the fan blades, because I remember one of the things back in the day was having an octocopter, right? Because if you have an octocopter or a hexacopter, you have 8 blades or 6 blades. Those you have redundant blades. If one of them falls out of the sky, your drone is still going to be up, and you can bring it down. You won't have the camera blowing up when it hits the ground. You won't have anyone injured. But what's cool about the Inspire 2 is that they've made it so that the motors, if there's an issue, they have 2 ways to create lift in it, right? They have 2 ways to get electricity to it. So if there's an issue with one of the lines, the other one picks up. And so again, more redundancy. So it's like all the safety features they're building into it, I feel like are really making it a better and better and better choice on bigger sets. So it's really cool. They've also got the 2 camera options. So if you're seeing the, what was it? Oops. If you see the picture, let me go back to the Inspire 2. Inspire 2 series. All right. Yeah, so I'll pull up the different pictures that they got. The different cameras, sorry. Yeah, so here's the, they call it Cinecore 2.0. They got the X4S, which is an upgrade from the X3. They've got the X5S, which is the micro four thirds sensor, which is really cool. And I don't know how this this chart works. Is this like they all include this or not? But either way, the X5S camera is seriously badass. That thing is really awesome. It's a really, really powerful camera from what they've showed about it. You can do some really awesome, I mean, 5.2K at 30 and 4K at 60 is pretty incredible. You've got your Cinema DNG, so having that RAW, or having the ProRes, or even having the H.265, that's some really incredible quality video you're going to get out of it. There's some really, like, they've really taken, I feel like they've really taken all the stuff that really high-end cinema users have been looking for, and they've brought it on board, right? They've really taken the Hasselblad merger and really squeezed the juice out of it. They're no longer just this like kind of rinky-dink camera on like a pretty good flying platform. They're a high-quality, redundant, safe flying platform that has everything, both the pilot as well as the camera operator needs to create some really incredible stuff. So, I mean, they're just going to be, they're really setting themselves up to become the standard for high-end drone cinematography, unless you want to go for something that's like really sick, like the FreeFly, the Alta, and put like a red on there. But if you're trying to just get the all-in-one solution, the Inspire is really, really incredible. So it's pretty amazing. It's also really cool because the Inspire 1 is still such a great setup, and it's now going to be so much cheaper because the Inspire 2 is coming out. So, whew. I need to take a break, drink a little bit of water. How are you guys liking this so far? What do you guys think about the Inspire 2? Let me know in the comment box. Let's do a little bit of chatting on this one. Really psyched to have everyone online right now. Kermit says my audio's cutting out. No! No bueno. What's going on? Were there a lot of issues with that? I'm curious. Trying to get you guys all the info. Ariel says, tell me if I'm wrong, but it's not looking like it comes with a camera at the $3,000 price point. Let's take a look here. This is some funky. So if I go to buy now, I go to details. It doesn't really show me. So you have the $3,000 option of the Inspire, and you have the $6,000 option. And so I think the $3,000 option comes with the X4S camera, and the $6,000 option comes with the X5S camera. If that makes sense. What the heck? I don't know why my audio is acting weird. This is really frustrating. But can you hear me yet, Kermit? Are we good? I don't know why it would be cutting out. All the stuff says it's all good. I'm not sure. It's really weird. It says my stream health was okay. Used to be good, but now it's okay. I don't know. Anywho, at any rate, the Inspire 2 is like seriously a baller camera setup, and it really is really powerful. If you guys get one, I highly recommend them. They're like so quality. I've just been always impressed with what DJI puts together. We had a handful of Phantoms. I rock the Ronin now. We've got the Inspire. We're thinking about getting the Inspire 2. Seriously, those guys are really great. So, all right, this live stream. Ariel guy says press pre-order and then click in the box. All right, so we'll do this and then we'll end this live stream here. Thanks everybody for joining us. Let's check out the Inspire 2 next. Okay, gotcha. So it looks like total right now is $3,000. If I wanted to add a remote for the second operator, and I wanted to add a camera that's basically going to bring the cost up to $4,000. So just your basic one battery dual operator setup for the Inspire 2 is going to be a little bit over $4,100. If you want to add in some extra batteries to that, total that up pretty quickly. But I feel like it's a really quality piece of equipment, and it's something that, if you are going to be on shoots and every shoot is, several $1,000s, it's going to pay itself off really, really quickly. So really quality stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of people in here are thinking a lot of different stuff. Are you guys more interested in the Phantom 4 Pro? Are you interested in the Inspire 2? Or are you going to think you're going to stick with like the Mavic? Or what are you going to what are you going to do? Or maybe you're thinking about the Karma. There's a lot of options out here right now, guys. So there's so many ways to go. Juan says that he wants the Mavic Pro so bad. Dude, there's so many options. There's so many cool drones. So many great ways to get shots. It's so awesome. So awesome. Kermit says, how often do you use your Inspire 1? We don't really ever use it that often anymore. I'm usually shooting something separate from what Gabe's shooting, and so it's kind of just sitting around. We're thinking actually of selling it, so if anyone in the Dope Shot Club is curious about buying like a full Inspire 1 setup, it's like never had any issues for us. It's been a total blessing. That thing is so cool. So if anyone's curious, we may end up putting it on the Dope Shot Club. So are there any final questions about filmmaking in general? I'd love to answer anything about growing your Instagram, growing your YouTube, maybe, anything about whatever. The Karma's falling out of the sky. Yeah, Juan, that's a really scary thing about the Karma is that you just don't know what sort of, you have to think about DJI has so much experience and so much technology and so many generations under their belt that they just are able to put out quality pieces of equipment so easily, right? They've gone through that learning curve, so to speak. Whereas GoPro, they're going from just being a regular camera manufacturer to being something, they're totally expanding their horizons, which is awesome. They should totally do that because it's awesome to have, different companies putting their own take on things. And they create something really unique and amazing with the Karma. But the fact that they are, able to, maybe, I don't know if they didn't know before they released it, or I hope they get it figured out because you definitely don't want to have your drone falling out of the sky. Juan, right now I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro CC, super high quality. If you're not using Adobe, I highly recommend it, but at the end of the day, it's whatever works best for you. Some people prefer using Final Cut. Some people prefer using even, iMovie or Windows Movie Maker or whatever. Whatever it's going to be, having your videos out there and just getting dirty in the video editing department is just really fun. So go shoot something, go create awesome stuff. And, guys, when it boils down to it, when it all comes to the end of it, what I want to say is that having any drone is just so cool. Whether you're going to buy like just a Phantom 3 standard or Phantom, I don't know if it's even a 3, a Phantom standard, or if you're going to buy a super maxed out Inspire 2 or a Mavic or whatever it is, taking on that next level of filmmaking and like deciding to use drones for yourself is just like so awesome. Ariel Sky, thanks. That was great to geek out with you all. Keep flying and creating. Dope Shot Club is the shizzle. Thanks again. Juan says, I just started doing videos recently, so I need all the advice I can get. I would say, Juan, watch videos that inspire you. Watch them with the sound off so you can break down the framing, the compositions, how they're capturing the shot. Is it a glide cam? Is it a slider? How are they lighting it? Really take the time to break down so that you can see how they're using cinematic techniques to tell their story and start incorporating that. Start experimenting that with your own stuff. And the more time that you can just shoot and shoot and shoot, and the more you can edit and edit and edit, the more you're going to understand all the pieces of the puzzle, and it's all going to start to come together, and you're just going to grow as an artist. So, guys, I feel like that's the big takeaway here. Whether you're shooting with a drone, whether you're shooting with an Inspire, whatever it is, if you're shooting just on the ground, make sure that you understand your vision, you understand the story you're trying to tell, and go out there and get creative and make it happen. I feel like we're in a place now where copying and certain styles are very popular, and so the more you can stand out from that by understanding the styles and tweaking them and kind of making them your own, the more you're going to explode across the internet. one thing that Corridor Digital talked about, and that's Sam and Nico, and they have one of the sickest YouTube channels ever, Corridor Digital. They talked about if you can take stuff that people already recognize and they're familiar with and remix it, it's going to be so fire on the internet, right? So they did an episode, just for instance, where they took Superman and they put like a GoPro on Superman. And it's really just their friend in front of a green screen and some drone footage put together. But people are really familiar with Superman and they love GoPros, so it's like taking those two ideas and just marrying them together. They got such amazing feedback from that. So take something unique, create something amazing. And guys, thanks again for joining us on the live stream. If you haven't already, check out the Dope Shot Club and the Facebook page. We've got awesome giveaways coming up. We're going to be posting about the new giveaway for the Reflection Challenge coming up soon. Guys, always a pleasure. Really appreciate it. If you can, like this stream. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, so catch you on the flip side. Have a great night. Have a great day. Peace out, y'all. Thanks again for joining us. Cruise out with the tunes. Woo. Peace out, y'all. All right, guys. Peace.